Yep. Peyton Hillis.
Yeah, he was,
Like all-star type person.
yeah, he was bringing that thunder, bro. Thunder.
Bro, imagine hearing Mike Allstar.
I don't. Not me. I tell you, Mike, 6'4".
6.
6'6". God would have gave me your height. I wouldn't have touched the foot. I tried to force my way in the NBA.
Inky Johnson, Oak, going for the championship, that ain't coming close. This might require taking notes, homie, listen close. Serendipity when you know you the one who chose. We going past the end zone, crushing every goal. I feel it in my enzymes, in my chromosomes. If you ain't come outside to go hard, then go back home. I'm in my zone, if it ain't great, it's I'm better left alone. This for the world, put what we speaking on speakerphone. Yeah, Wills, let them know what we be on. Serendipity, man, tune in.
What's going on, good people? Welcome to another episode of Serendipity. I'm Inky Johnson, here with my brother.
I'm Oak. What's happening, good people? I'm excited today, Ink. I'm super excited, brother.
No question.
You know, when you have a vision and we have a vision and we talk about it,
Yes, sir.
and how, you know, God kind of brings it together organically.
No doubt.
Wasn't even really planned,
Yeah.
but we got something special for y'all today.
Absolutely, man. What we're speaking to, we've been toiling with this idea called the circle of vulnerability, to where we just get a group of people, man, to share, express, just so people can see, man, that they're human, right? Not only to express like things that they're going through, but also to celebrate, you know, great moments in their lives. And so we're of the thought that before you extend an invitation to others to do it, you have to be willing to put yourself on the front line and do it yourselves, which is why we did it the last episode. So today, we got a couple of friends, special guests to the room that we want to introduce the world to, man, starting with our brother, Big Mike. Do you mind introducing yourself to the people, Big Mike?
Michael Jones, personal trainer, fitness professional from Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes, sir.
And it's a pleasure to be here.
We appreciate
Yes, sir.
you, man.
Glad you
We
appreciate
appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed, man. To my right, maybe your left, we got our brother, my guy, E. Introduce yourself to the people, E.
Emmanuel Matthews, barber, painter, entrepreneur. I get down.
No doubt, man. We appreciate y'all being here with us, man.
Yes,
we really
sir.
do.
Yes, sir.
But we're going to kick it off, man, like we always do, with the quote card. And it reads, courage. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes courage is the quiet voice at the end of the day saying, I will try again tomorrow. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes courage is the quiet voice at the end of the day saying, I will try again tomorrow. Talk to us, Oak.
What I think about first, Ink, is those days at Cohen, riding home. You know what I'm saying? Just, we would go to school, I would teach, I would see you guys, and you were trying. Some days you got it, some days you didn't. But I also would ride through the neighborhood and see some of the things that you guys were going up against on a day-to-day battle. You know what I'm saying? From the neighborhood, from family situations, and literally I would cry. Riding down 20, get on 285 going down to Washington Road. Yeah. Because I felt like there was nothing I could do. But then it was like, what would hit me was, you can go back tomorrow.
Yeah.
You got the courage to go back tomorrow.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? No one knew about it until, you know, I'm talking about it now. But it was an act of courage to show up every day with the same energy, with the same belief, with the same faith, and give it, you know, the same effort.
Yes, sir.
So, and I imagine a lot of parents who have young people, kids, boys, girls who are going through things, they have the courage to show up as parents every day. Teachers have the courage to show up as teachers every day. Because what you see on a day-to-day basis, it fluctuates. Some days they're good days, some days there's some really bad days.
Yes, sir.
And as you're watching your young people, your kids grow up You seeing them struggle. Sometimes you be like, I don't know if they're gonna make it. I'm scared for them. And then other times it's like, they're gonna be all right. But the courage is in the middle of the night when you sitting on the edge of the bed, praying, talking to your spouse or whomever, crying, talking to God. And then 6, 7, 8 o'clock, 6 a.m. was start time. When that hits and you put your feet on the floor and you do it again, that's what courage is to me.
Yes, sir. Picking that up, man. Talk to us, Mike. How does it resonate with you, man, about courage?
Being a former educator, I can attest to everything, and especially under the leadership of Mr. DeMarco Mitchell, I can attest to everything he's saying about being an educator, especially a new educator. But I want to go with a different point, and I want to talk about the courage of being a husband every day and being a better version of myself for my wife every day. And the trials and tribulations that we have gone through and the things that could have folded me and should have folded me, that I'm able to stand forward and keep going forward every day.
Yes, sir.
And wanna talk about, definitely want to talk about that. And also the courage of being a father every day.
No doubt.
It's the courage of being a father every day.
Yes, sir. I'm picking that up. Talk to us, Z.
To piggyback off what Mike said, but not really directly, but that was on my heart as far as courage goes. When I read the quote card, I thought about my children, and when my wife was having my daughter, it took me to a place of I was afraid. Because I didn't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? I grew up without my father, so I didn't know how to be a father. So I had a moment of vulnerability while I was sitting in that room while they were putting my wife back together back there. And they rolled my daughter in, and it's just me and her. And I'm looking at this little girl, and I'm like, Daddy gonna figure it out. I got to figure it out. And that sense of courage kicked in, and I've been navigating off that ever since with her. Lately, we had a rough patch in our household, and I'm watching them watch me be courageous and lead them through it all. You understand what I'm saying? So it's fun, but it's scary at the same time still. But you know that's what courage comes in at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's you know, like the thing that I love about courage, bro, is like courage looks different based upon the situation and the season that you're going through in life. Like, because sometimes courage looks like, man, I'm the cat out front, I'm the gorilla, I'm beating on my chest. Sometimes courage looks like, I'm the cat that's listening. Sometimes courage looks like, I'm the cat that's encouraging. And so it looks different. But the thing that I often think about when I hear courage, everybody on the face of this planet is gonna lose a battle in life. Everybody. But I think courage is the ability not to lose yourself in spite of what battles that you lose in terms of life. Because oftentimes we go through things, and when we lose in life, things that we want to be successful at, things that we want to get right, oftentimes when we lose ourselves. Our self-worth, how we feel about ourselves as fathers, as husbands. And it's like, man, it's all good. We all gonna lose. Just don't lose yourself. You know what I'm saying? Remember who you are. I think that's courage. Because it's not always the easiest thing in the world when you don't feel worthy, or you don't feel at your best, or you're less than your best, to keep that capacity of courage and continue to move forward and be the father, the husband, and the man that you feel you capable of being, you know? So no, I'm with that. I'm with that.
Yeah, life is gonna throw you so many curveballs. It's gonna knock you down so many times. Because I know it has me. It has knocked me on my asymptote 1,000 times.
Yes, sir.
You know, those mathematicians out there, y'all know what I'm talking about. But anyway, it's really that ability to get up. But it's also why it's important to have a why in your life. Because it hits so hard. So we talk about our kids, we talk about our family. For me, it is my why, my courage comes from the fact that there were some people who picked cotton from sunup to sundown. There was a grandmama who prayed. There was another grandmama who prayed. There was a grandfather who worked in the cotton fields and sawmills and plywood plant. A father who stopped driving a truck just so he could come home to his son every day. Like the sacrifices that were made and the courage that they had to choose to step outside of their comfort zone. Who am I not to have courage? I come from this. I come from courage.
Yes, sir.
I am courage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We are courage.
Of course.
Because all of us have had people to pray for us, to sacrifice for us, to stand in the stead for us, if you will, to intercede and talk to God on our behalf. Who are you not to have courage?
Yes, sir.
Right? So let's make sure that we always remember it's your birthright. It's your birthright to have courage. If you choose not to, that's on you.
It makes me think about something you were saying that, like, as a father, as a husband, as a man, Mike, E, and then we could pick it up. Can you remember a time when you had to have courage, like a specific time, just as a man, that like you had to really go into that courage bag and be like, boy, I gotta muster up some courage with this one?
Well, for me, it was May of 2014 when I got married to my wife. I had to muster it up because I never seen marriage before. Other than the Cosby Show or everything that we probably witnessed on television.
No doubt.
I've never been a part or seen marriage in my home. Never seen how a man is supposed to treat a wife or how a wife is supposed to surrender to her husband. I never seen those dynamics. So for me, it was totally new. And I had to have courage to be able to jump into that. Like jump in the broom for real and jump into something that was totally different, totally opposite from what I came from. I came up with a single parent. My mother took care of everything. I had uncles and, neighborhood folks that stepped in and served as mentors, our guys, my coaches served as guys of influence, but never seen how a man is supposed to treat a woman and lead a household. Never seen that. And I also had to have the courage to be able to have and raise children because I think it was a blessing and also a curse that my father was in the home. Because if my father was in the home, I probably grew up totally different and followed a different path because I was looking for somebody to follow. And if he would have been in the home, I probably would have went the wrong direction. But by him not being there, I knew as a man what I needed and what I wanted. So those are all the things that I do for my kids now.
That's good.
Those dynamics, everything that I needed and I wanted, that's what I give my son today.
I would say this, Mike, what I see in society,
it's good,
by a lot of brothers, which is really what you were just saying, right?
Yeah.
A lot of brothers right now, around your age or maybe a little younger, are really excellent fathers. Because they come from a generation where they didn't have fathers. And so from a very personal aspect, you know what it is that you wanted as a young person, as a son, that you didn't get.
Yeah.
So you're able to almost easily fill that void, right?
And it's easier for me than being a husband.
Oh yeah. Oh yes, sir.
Yeah.
But don't. Wait a minute, man. Wait. That's a whole nother. That's a whole nother lane, man.
That's a whole nother form of courage, right?
That's a whole nother form of courage, man. I'd rather ride a roller coaster. But anyway, but no, just the lack, and this is how the universe always balances itself, because of the lack of the generation that you came up under, right? There were fathers who were not there on a consistent basis. So you began to formulate what excellent fatherhood looks like. And when you became, just like E, when you became a father, you had a firm idea of what you wanted that to look like. Like for myself, I came from a whole environment of fathers. So that example was already set.
So you copy and pasting.
Yeah, I'm copying and pasting. I'm not creating. Right? So, but I think it's wonderful that, as you were saying, the blessing of it is you guys understand what it is that you would have wanted as a young person. And now you're able to lay that groundwork, give that love, give that nurturing to your sons and daughters.
That's good.
I applaud you guys for it.
No question. I love it. I love it when you said, I know what I wanted and I knew what I needed. That's deep, bro. I respect that. What about you, E? The time you had to be courageous.
I'm speaking to entrepreneurship. I went to school for cosmetology, not barber. So when I finally went into the shop, I didn't really know how to cut hair.
Oh, Lord.
You been cutting your hair all
This cat dirt, dude.
Man, I'm in there, and they sending me people. They send me this young cat. Young cat want to fade.
Throw him up.
Listen, brother. If you don't know how to get out that fade, boy,
boy.
that fade gonna be on top of that man's head. So I had to dig into a space that I've never been in before. And I knew it was courage because I had to stand there. I had to be present in that moment of fear too and conquer that haircut. To me, it wasn't what he asked for.
That's a word. It wasn't what he asked for.
It wasn't what he asked for. But was he satisfied with the haircut? Yes, sir.
There we go.
Because it was clean. It was a clean cut. It was high and tight. But I'm going to tell you the blessing in it. My man was going to the military the next week.
Wow.
So it worked out for him.
Wow.
Which gave me more courage to try again to cut some more hair. And another thing with entrepreneurship, man, when I opened my first shop, man, when you open a shop and you don't have people to come work in that shop, you gotta baby that shop. You gotta come from the ground up, man. It's just you sticking in there. You just gotta believe that you're doing the right thing. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta believe in God that you're doing the right thing and that He placed it in your heart to do that and to guide you in that direction.
No doubt. Now I'm picking that up. Man, like, one of the times I had to be courageous. Like, life is so cold-blooded, man. I really do believe life always presents us situations prior to prepare us. Now, this situation, I had never been in it before, but the initial encounter was the preparation for the next encounter. So one night at my home, me, my wife, my kids, in a rural area at the time. And so we winding down, getting ready to shut it down for the night. You know, the wife goes in, gets in the bed, kids, they down and out. I'm watching a little TV late. And so when I hit the TV, I'm like, man, I'm about to go into bed. Like, I'm struggling. I ain't watching TV watching me, right? So I come through the hallway, headed to the room. And when I come through the hallway, headed to the room, I see something out of the corner of my eye moving on the ground. And I'm like, man, I know I'm tired, but I ain't tripping. And I look, and it's a snake. Wow. A snake got into our house, right? At a house in a rural area. Snake. I'm like, bro, this is a snake. I'm talking to myself. I'm like, bro, this is a snake. Like, I'm talking to myself, bro. Like, this is a snake, right? So initially, I say, all right, go get your wife up, you know what I'm saying? While you try to do what you do, just let her stand in the front, kind of distracted. I had never encountered a snake before, right? Yeah. But the mistake that I made in that moment was waking my wife up and saying, it's a snake in the house.
Exactly.
Her initial response was, we gotta go. Yeah. I was like, nah, we ain't leaving. It's like 1 a.m, we ain't leaving. Yeah. She's like, we gotta go. I'm like, nah, we gotta get in. Yeah. So I go, I move, I stand on top of this little dresser, or whatever, I end up getting him, I get him done with, right? So my wife at this point, she like, man, that was really a snake. And I had never encountered that before. Like, that took a different level of courage for me. Yeah. Right? I would say 2 weeks later, outside on the property, now we in the country, right? We out, we cleaning the deck, another snake on the deck, right? My posture, my disposition, my perspective, my strategy, totally different.
Totally different.
Response, totally different. Yeah. My wife didn't even know about it. I ain't even tell my wife about this. I just handled the situation, right? Point in case, my son was in a baseball tournament. He comes up, last batter, close game, right? Comes up, end of the game, and he does something that I never seen him do before. He takes a deep breath before he gets in the box. I'm like, I've never seen him do that before, ever. But I know it's a pressure situation, right? Takes a deep breath, goes up, strikes out. After the game, I'm like, Ink, what was that before you got in the box? He's like, Dad, I just felt pressure from the situation. I was like, got it. We discuss it. Cool. Very next day, he in the same situation. End of the game, close game. He the last batter coming up, right? Tight game. He didn't take the deep breath this time. Got in the box, get 2 strikes on him early, battles, take the pitcher, 8 pitches deep, end up popping it up, getting out. His response was way better. The amount of courage that he showed and displayed in that situation, totally better. But he had to be prepared first.
Yeah.
And so what I'm learning as a man, when I go through something really tough, that I have to display courage, right? It's not punishment, it's preparation. Initially, like sometimes you could process it as, man, this punishment. Nah, this preparation.
Yeah.
So the next time I encounter that situation,
Know how to handle
the
it.
level of courage that I can display in handling it, all right, I'm all good now. I can laugh at it now. I can pitch and catch with my guys about it now. And so, man, I love it because I feel like life always puts us in a situation prior to, even if not similar, to prepare us for the next time that we deal with something along those lines. Yeah, it was a snake, bro. A snake.
You know what type of snake it
I
was?
don't know. I don't know, man. But
I was about to ask you, both
Yeah.
kids were born?
yeah.
Okay.
Both kids were born, man.
Because generally when, snakes start lurking, somebody pregnant.
Yeah.
I thought it was fish.
Yeah.
Huh?
I thought it was fish.
That's
No,
a
that was
dream.
a dream.
That's a dream. Yeah,
But they-
you dream about fish, but yeah.
They
Snakes come in your house when somebody's pregnant.
What?
Yeah.
The milk they get, the milk that's
Being produced.
being produced in the in the breast.
Yeah. That was years ago, so we passed that tip.
I mean, I think for me, there's been a lot of times, anytime I face something new or that I haven't faced before, right, it's courage. But I think for me, it was, we played Griffin. I was coaching, and at the time, my ex-wife, we had decided to carry her sister's baby, or she decided, she was literally carrying her baby. Implanted the eggs, whatever. And so there's a lot that goes into it. And so right after the game, out there in the parking lot, she was like, you got to give me this shot. Because she had to take shots. And I knew, like, the pressure was, there's another life at stake here. I can't mess it up.
Yes, sir.
I'm coming off the high of just winning a very close game. We won on the last play. I'm here, and then I come down here, get steady, and to deliver this shot. And, we was able to do it, and luckily, blessedly, she's maybe 14, 15 years old now, made into the world and all of that. But there's just that whole process of, as we were saying, being a husband and everything that it takes, being someone's mate, being someone that other people depend on.
Absolutely.
That level of courage, like walking into the classroom the very first day at 23, 22 years old, and these young people looking at me, and they're dependent on me to be their other parent. That's how I saw it. You know what I'm saying? The time I remember the ride for Isaiah, the very first time we go into the hospital, and I'm about to have a son.
Yeah, man.
That, we all have those experiences, and those feelings. And as I was saying Saturday, courage, the beautiful thing about courage is it teaches you and it shows you who you are, but it also shows you where you are on your journey, where you are on your maturity journey,
Yes, sir.
right? So it's not it's not a punishment. It's definitely all of them are blessings. Count them all as blessings. Count all those moments of fear, all those moments of doubt as blessings. Because those are the teachable moments that the universe is giving to you and allowing you to display who you are and where you are. Because the where you are part, I think, is very important. We're all in different places in the river of life on our maturity scale. And so it gives you a gauge. The Creator, God, gives you a gauge of showing you where you are right now. Right? Where you were when you first saw the snake, boom. You saw the snake the second time, oh, I'm here.
No doubt.
The pitch, the at-bat, the first time, I'm here. The second time, I battle. Because notice, it wasn't about he got a hit.
Right.
It was about, the battle was I didn't strike out.
Absolutely.
Right? Life is not about getting hit. Life is about not striking out.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You can get put out, but you ain't got to strike out.
Exactly.
Because the striking out is when you quit. The striking out is when you lay down. The striking out is when you fold.
Yes, sir.
Right? The putting out is you trying and you get a chance to try again tomorrow.
Right on.
That's what we say courage is. That's what the card said.
Yeah.
You get a chance to do it tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Picking that up, man. As a man, like, I often think, like, with other brothers, like, when was a time as a man that the intentions were correct, but you feel like you got it wrong? The intention was correct with what you were doing, what you were pursuing, or what you may have tried to get done. But after it manifested and after you did it, it was like, nah, I got that one wrong. And even if the word is not wrong, but the intention was right, but when it manifested and played out, the situation didn't. Point in case with me personally, early in my career, man, I was trying to ascend, bro. And I'll never forget the first time I got offered the opportunity to speak for the corporation, the NFL. They was about to pay me more money than I'd ever been paid. And when they sent back the date, I was already excited, but when they sent back the date fell on my wife's birthday. And I was like, dang it, man. And I'm like, my wife would be cool with it. I go to her, I dress it up. Babe, I can go speak. I can send you and grandma to the spa. Cool. I fly back in, all good. She, no problem. Right?
Yeah.
I go speak, get paid, everything goes smooth. Her and grandma go to the spa, get back home, go to dinner, smooth, right? I would say 2 days later, might have been some socks in the dryer or something. She spazzed.
Yeah.
In a way that I hadn't really seen.
Yeah.
And the conviction hit me. I knew it. I was like, that's that trip to go speak on her birthday. She felt like you valued the money and the opportunity over her birthday. Now, true enough, you trying to provide for your family. There's always a tug of war in terms of trying to provide, trying to balance it out with the wife and the kids. My intention was correct. I wanted to go up here, get this opportunity, feel as if it's gonna ascend me to a different level financially or to do something and help my family. But I felt like in that moment, my intentions were correct, but I felt like I got that moment wrong. Right? Yeah. Because I never get that day back with my wife.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so what's a time as a man that you feel like your intentions were right, but like, man, I probably came up a little short on that?
I got a similar story, Ink. My wife, we were throwing her birthday party. She was turning 35. And I wanted it to be a big event, have a party for her. So I invited all her friends from high school, family, co-workers and everything out. But I wasn't listening to my wife because she had told me previously, she said, I want to spend time with you. She said, I want to spend time with you. I want this to be an intimate moment. I want us to go somewhere. I want it to be about you. And I didn't hear that, but I had my own plans, my own idea. I knew, she's going to love this. We're going to go to a nice, elaborate restaurant. We're going to do it big for her. So we invited everybody out. We sung happy birthday to her. She was surprised. She was happy. She was crying and everything. And I noticed on the way back to the house, she was quiet. She didn't say nothing. And everything just playing in my mind like, damn, man, I spent $500, got all these folks out, got you a nice gift, and damn, man, what's wrong now? You know what I'm saying? I'm just riding like, what I do now? You know what I'm saying? What I do now? Like, this is supposed to be a good event. You 35, baby? And, I asked her, I said, you all right? She said, yeah, I'm okay. And we got to the garage. I hit the garage. Went out. She didn't open the door, so I ain't open the door. We sat in there for about 3 minutes quiet. And she said, you know what, Mike? I need you to start listening to me sometime. And I'm thinking to myself, that's one of the moments I want to call you. I want to just call you and be like, just go off. But I'm listening. She said, I need you to listen to me sometime. She said, I told you what I needed, what I wanted. I just wanted to spend some intimate time with you. She said, everything we did tonight was amazing. It was nice. I enjoyed the people that were out there. She said, but most of them people I don't talk to, I haven't talked to in a long time, they were just coming to just, be a part of the event. She said, but I really wanted to spend time with you. And so I listened. That was one of the few times I did not have a rebuttal. I listened, and I apologized to her. And ever since then, those moments, I always try to hear my wife out. And I always ask her, and I try to communicate with her. Before I have any plans with her or doing something beforehand, I always try to go back and see what she really wants. But that was one time I thought I was doing the right thing. I spent a lot of money. I put a lot of effort in. There was a lot of effort in getting her friends and stuff there. But she wanted something that was so simple, and that was just to spend time with me. So that was a time I thought I had it right, but I got it wrong. I got it wrong because I wasn't listening.
Picking that up.
Yeah.
E?
I got wife stories for days.
I know it.
But I'm going to go into my father, man. My father had a stroke going on 3 years ago. He's in Cleveland, Ohio. My heart of hearts said, go see my father, right? I go see this guy. I see him, he moved around. I'm like, what's up? I thought buddy had a stroke. So, nobody knows, but my father is one of those real ornery people. He's strong, and he don't want nobody to take care of him. He don't want nobody to do anything. And I think that was the testament to why he got up so quick. But his speech is delayed, or what happens with the stroke. And I'm there with him. I'm just trying to spend time with him. Like, I'm thinking I'm doing the right thing. Man, I can't see my pop. Man, I'm here with you. I'm like, what's up, man? What you need? Man looked me right in my face and said, it's time for you to go home.
No.
Brother came 12. What? Listen, let's talk about something. But I just knew I was right in my heart. But for him, he couldn't be him. So he didn't want that around. So I should have asked him, should I come? I just came out of my own selfish reasons, I guess. Like, this is my dad, I'm gonna go see my dad and make sure he's good. But I should have just asked the man, hey man, do you want company? Do you want somebody sitting with you?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes we would force ourselves in people's lives, and that rejection that you get, like, you can't really be mad because you never asked the person. You just you try to fill those shoes on your own terms.
Yeah. That's it.
It's
good.
He felt like he couldn't be himself.
He couldn't be himself. Even today, like, if I call him, we on the phone 20 seconds at tops, because he can't articulate what he's trying to say. He can think it, but he can't really just get it all out how he normally would get it out. And it's frustrating to him, so I just let him. I text him now, like, hey man, what you doing? And he hit me back. He hit me back on text faster than he could speaking because of the speech thing he got. But he in speech therapy. He's doing a lot better these days. So we chatted up.
Wow.
That's deep.
Dude, funny,
Oh,
man.
man.
That's deep.
Wow.
I guess listen to all three of your situations, right? I have something individually, but, because we in time and pod, we'll chop it up privately. But for me, I guess I would have to say, most recently, I went to the country Saturday. So by the time this comes out, when somebody's seeing and listening to it, it was last Saturday. the day before Father's Day. Up, went down there, me and Dejon, my little god grandson, and you know, we chilling. I go see my mom's for a moment, get on the I really wanted to get on the four-wheeler. I got on the four-wheeler because I just wanted to clear my mind. That's one of the greatest kind of therapeutic, you know, cathartic experiences. Put the helmet on and just ride.
Just ride out.
And then I got back late to the house, to my mom's house. So I figured she was asleep. So I went over to my uncle's house to go to sleep because I didn't want to wake her. So I thought I was doing the right thing by not waking her. And I had to get back to Atlanta early Sunday morning. I thought I did, and come to find out I didn't. So the miscommunication between me and my mom, so she called me all while I'm riding up the road, and she's disappointed. She had, was about to cook Father's Day dinner for me and all of that stuff. And it broke me. It broke me, fellas. But I thought I was doing the right thing by being considerate of her time, her space. But she wanted to see her, as she said, her baby.
Her baby, yeah.
And she told me, she was like, you hurt my feelings. Your mama tell you hurt her feelings, bro.
Man, please.
Bruh, you know what kind of courage it takes just to keep going?
Yeah.
So, I got to figure out how to atone for that. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about atoning, meaning doing something, doing the right thing. But then my atonement, I got to make sure my atonement
is right.
Is just.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And so it's communication, it's listening. More than just with your ears, listening with your heart, listening with your thoughts.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they can say one thing and they mean what they say, but it cascades into something else. Because we talk the same language. Because notice, you know what I'm saying? If Pops was in regular health, no pressure.
Right.
So Pop was altered.
Right.
So now that communication has to change. We can't talk, we got to text.
Right.
Wife. You listening, but you're not able to yet, or you were not at the time, able to listen from their perspective. See, it's one thing to listen, it's another thing to listen from another person's perspective.
Absolutely.
So like when I hear you say something, because I know you, I can listen from your perspective. I can listen from your perspective. Eve, my spirit knows your spirit, period, but you know what I'm saying? So when you get to talking, I know what you're saying, even if you don't say it, right? So, but that experience this weekend, it brought me to my knees, man. It brought me to my knees. I didn't sulk about it or whatever. It was just, okay, just go make it right, bro.
Yeah.
It didn't turn out the way in which you thought it would turn out, meaning you been trying to be considerate. It just wasn't a positive experience for her. So go just make it right. However I need to make it right, and I'm gonna figure that out.
No question, man. Picking that up for sure. Fellas, have your kids ever made you cry?
Man.
Have your kids ever made you cry?
Or something they said, or because they cried, or they were hurt by something?
Just in terms of just the press, man, of trying to be a father, because I feel like sometimes just the press of, like I'm finna run up out here. I just feel like the press, man, like it's such a beautiful and fulfilling journey, like fatherhood, just as you discover, man, it's like pulling back them layers on that onion, man. Like, it's beautiful because, like, in my thought process, it makes me reflect on my father, life, sacrifices, and then my press to become a better father. And then you hit stages and phases with your children to where they're becoming different people.
Yes.
And you have your methods and your experiences that you've been reared by, and you're living in a different world with your children. And so sometimes your methods may not work and apply to the current day and time that your children may be dealing with certain things, not that the intention isn't correct. And so I'll never forget the first time I cried when I was trying to do something for my children and they didn't understand it, but I cried because I felt like I wanted them to understand, and they were young, man. I wanted them to understand that, man, like, listen, man, I'm your dad, man. If anybody on the face of this planet will battle for you, will lay his life down for you, like, I'm your father, man. Like, I ain't gonna try to tell you nothing that's gonna hurt you. Not that I'm gonna try to protect you from everything. I ain't gonna do that. Some things you need to go through for your development, right? But I'm your father.
And that's a hard part. Yeah.
That's the tough part.
That's a hard part.
Yeah,
Go
man.
through things for the development. That's tough, man. That's tough. But for me, man, the first time I really broke down was when I had to discipline my daughter. I had to discipline my daughter because at the time, I felt as though she was being disrespectful. And it was just, a learning process. She had to learn. Yeah. And when I was trying to correct her publicly, she kind of embarrassed me. So I had to handle that situation. And when we got home and I was talking to her and I was talking to my son, because I had to bring him in and let him know these are things you don't do. You don't talk like this. You don't operate like this. You respect your elders. Yes, sir. No, sir. And I just started crying. And my daughter was looking at me because she was hurt because I had to, kind of discipline her a little bit. So she was crying for that reason. But my son started crying because he seen his father crying, which made me cry even more. Yeah. And I was just basically had to tell them, like, I'm responsible for you all. So how you all act out here in society, that's a reflection of me too, as your father. Of course. So everything that you all learn, everything that you all go through, you're gonna hear it and see it from your mother and your father first. We're gonna try to put y'all on game before you go out here into this world.
Yep, absolutely. Yep.
And then if that takes me disciplining you, putting my hands on you a little bit, that's what it's gonna take. Because I know when you get out there in that world, they're not gonna love on you. I'm doing this out of love.
Yeah.
That world gonna try to punish you. So that first time I had to discipline my daughter, I can remember it, man. We were walking from the basketball court, and I just broke down because I was like, dang, I didn't never want to have to talk to my daughter like that, or pull on her arm, like just snatch up a little bit. I never wanted to have to do that, and it hurt me. It broke me down. It broke me down.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Well, for me, I didn't particularly cry, I guess, like shed a tear, but my feelings were hurt. But like you're saying, kids getting older and they become their own people, right? And we try to parent them the best we can. We try to guide them however, the best way we know how, right? So my kids live in this world of independence. I guess because both their parents are entrepreneurs, so they see us navigate through this world of independence. So we operate totally different than like your normal household. So they've been creating their own entity of themselves. So like my son, he plays games all day. My daughter, she's into fashion and art and this whole little thing. So when we try to come together as a family, they don't want to do nothing, and it hurts my feelings. I'm like wait. Man, I go out and work all these hours and y'all don't want to go. Like something as simple as going skating or going swimming or they don't want to do nothing. We just want to stay at home. Yeah. Like, I be want to go in on them kids, man, but it hurts my feelings and I tell them, I'm like, look, man, I don't do all this just for me. What I do is for you guys. It's not just to pay the mortgage or this, that, and third. I'm going out busting my butt so I can create time to be able to do it, but they hit me back. And they're smart kids, 13 and 11 and 19 and 20. They hit me with well, you work for yourself, you always got time. And it hit, and I'd be like, you know what? Y'all right. But they don't understand that aspect yet of the time that you think we have is not really our time either. Right. But yeah, like, to get back to the point, they hurt my feelings with not wanting to spend time with us or do anything. Like, I don't get it, bro. This new generation of kids, I don't know what y'all got going on for y'all.
Oh, man. Plenty of times, because there's plenty of kids. But I would say this. They've done some wonderful things. They've done some not so wonderful things. Right? And that hasn't, I kind of can roll with the punches with that.
Right.
But the oldest, Isaiah, he was working. He was going to school and he was working, right? He was working at this restaurant and they watched, you start out as a dishwasher before you move, get out to the front. And it was his time to wash dishes at the house. And it was that moment where you stake your claim that I'm a young Thundercat. I'm a young bull here, but I am a bull.
Right on, yeah.
And me being, at the time, a bigger bull, I wasn't an old bull yet, he was just speaking his piece and he just wasn't trying to wash the dishes at the house.
Because he been washing them all day.
That's what he said. That's what he said.
I already know.
I've been watching over this, man.
Over there, man.
Another dick.
And you ain't paying me.
Right. And you ain't paying me. Oh, he went all the way to the left, man.
Yeah.
By the grace of God, there was a level of calmness in me.
By the grace.
Yeah, by the grace of God, that I didn't break his neck. I really didn't do, I was just, all right, man, you got it. But I went upstairs and I cried, partly because, my man growing up. Not because of disrespect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I could address that.
No doubt.
But he's transitioning from boyhood to manhood, speaking up for himself. Because we're gonna be able to talk about, okay, there's a way in which you do this, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No question.
And then a few weeks ago when he was named a Teacher of the Year and everybody else got up to speak about him and what he's doing at the school, and to hear them talk about that young man who, at the time, back then, 4-5 years ago, had that basically really his last adult temper tantrum with me, made me feel so proud that I cried. It was like, oh, okay. And he came up and said that I get it. I apologize for the way I acted.
Yeah.
I want to make sure going forward that my actions with my kids never leave me having to apologize to them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's what I mean by when you're in the Florida River, where are you on the maturity scale?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Such that, and shoot, tomorrow something may happen that I never even foreseen him act a plum monkey and let me know I ain't nowhere down there.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? It may.
Yes, sir.
But in this moment right here, just seeing them go from this immaturity and seeing that growth to a semblance and level of maturity is worth crying for me.
Yeah, man. I'm picking that up. It's so dope, man. Like, so on Father's Day, I like going to the movies. And so my wife like, you want to go to the movies? So I'm like, yeah, we go. She's like, you want to go watch Inside Out? I'm like, nah, it's Father's Day. It's my day.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch Bad Boys. You know what I'm saying? We can go watch Inside Out with the kids another day, right? So day after that, you want to go watch Inside Out? So I'm like, y'all really on this Inside Out, ain't it? Yeah, let's go watch Inside Out. Let's go. So we went, and whenever we go watch a movie, we come out and we talk to the kids about it. All right, Jake, what you think? Ink, what you think? Allison will share hers, I share mine. And Jada said something, man, the movie ended up being phenomenal because it was about like this kid being controlled by different emotions. And that she's going throughout life, different emotions are coming into the picture. And my daughter said something, man, it was phenomenal. She said, Dad, you know, the emotions, when they would come into the picture and try to help her deal with situations, they thought they were helping her, but they were really hurting her because they were trying to prevent her from going through certain situations. And when she said it, it convicted me as a father. Because oftentimes you're trying to help and you're trying to do things that you think are helping your kids, when sometimes the things that you're trying to do or prevent from happening is actually hurting your children. And so for me, man, when I hear that and I think about tears, it's one thing to cry tears of pain. It's another thing to cry tears of joy. That's why I love when a person say, same thing make you laugh, gonna make you cry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so even with my kids, man, some situations that can make you cry tears of pain, later down the line, I think the duality and the beautiful part about life, it can be tears of joy. You know what I'm saying? So I'm definitely picking that up.
It's like with Dejan. He learning how to crawl now. He scoops. He get on it. I ain't never seen a child get on their knees and just hop like a little bunny rabbit and stuff. So he's all over the place now.
Yeah.
Right?
Wide open.
When I say wide open, he wide open. Yeah. But this is not my first rodeo in that situation.
Yeah.
My wife now is she's nurturing and want to keep him protected. He can't go over. He go over there. Come on back. He go over there. Come on back. So when he with me,
you let him feel it.
Only thing I keep him out of is them sockets.
Them sockets, yeah.
But you get up there, okay, if you fall.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I pick you up. You all right, breathe a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You ain't gonna get back up there though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, if you get back up there, I need to take you to a doctor. And not the medical doctor. I need to take you to a mental doctor. Something wrong with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In order to understand that fire is hot, you got to feel it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Right? So I don't try to prevent you from, or any young person from going through some teachable moments.
Yes, sir.
That's what they were saying. I'm trying to help you, keep you protected, but you keeping me protected from the experiences that's gonna make me better.
Yeah.
And that's always the discernment of a parent.
Yeah.
Some things, like Isaiah came when he was in 8th grade, he was always just a chill kid, whatever. He was like, maybe it might have been like 2 weeks later, he said, Pops, I was walking out of school, this dude just hit me in the mouth. I said, what you do? He said, I just said, did that, man, what you hit me for? What? And then dude just turned, he was like, man, my bad. I was like, that's what it means to keep your swag in your pocket. You could have acted a fool and exacerbated the situation.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you walking in what I've taught you.
Right. Yeah.
I don't teach you to hit nobody back if they hit you. I teach you to look at yourself if you did something. Because you might have been, if it was a case where you were picking on the kid or something and he hit you in the mouth, you take that lick in the mouth and keep pushing.
Right. Yeah.
If you didn't do anything or whatever, they going to realize that they made a mistake if you keep your swag in your pocket.
Yeah.
No other issues.
Right. That's good. What's your thoughts on that?
I know, man.
Swag in your pocket.
Yeah. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah,
I heard he breathing hard on that. I heard him
Swear would have been all on the cement, right?
We go swag surf around here. Hit me in my mouth.
Yeah, man.
I get it though, Oak. That's good stuff though, man. Violence is not always the answer. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, I mean, like to
Sometimes,
me,
though.
man, you invite the energy into your life,
Yeah.
right? And what I mean by that is like, in that situation, like, who gonna come up and just hit you
Yeah.
Yeah.
for no reason,
Yeah, something happened.
right?
Going.
Now, and if they do, we get to the understanding of, bro, my bad, I stepped on your shoe, my fault. Like I stepped on your shoe, your reaction hit me. Then I'm saying, man, I didn't mean to step on your shoe. I'm still focused on the thing I did to you, not what you did to me.
Yeah.
Because everything is a me issue. You got to live with the way in which you responded to me. I got to live with the way in which I responded to you.
Yeah.
And if we keep it that way, that's what I mean when I say keep your swag in your pocket. It's your swag.
Yeah.
I'm not about to give you my swag.
Yeah. Yeah.
By responding to what you did, I'm responding to what I did.
To cause the situation.
Yep.
Because oftentimes, man, like your actions often dictate the temperature of situations that you're met with.
Yep.
Because like when you respond a certain way to people, what they say, how they deal with you, I firmly believe it can cause a level of conviction. Like if you're dealing with something and you lash out to a person and they respond with kindness or respect, it can make you be like,
Man,
you know what, man, that's my bad, bro.
Exactly.
I'm dealing with something.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But oftentimes, you gonna ramp up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There it is, like Mike doing. You gonna ramp up. And so, like, I love it, man, about when we used to talk about locating your ego.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, locating that ego, man, in certain situations is so vital because it can cause a situation to go here or here based upon if you locate it with what you're dealing with. And as a man, like, that's tough, especially when you get hit in a space and place that it don't feel good or it makes you feel a certain way just as a man.
Man, think my wife made me locate my ego every 15 minutes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's part of their job though, to ultimately make us better.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It makes you better.
Yeah.
No, she get hard though. She get hard. She get high. She get low. She get inside. But again, because I understand it to be because of where I am in my maturity walk, such that not saying her the person, but the energy has to come in such a way to continue to push me on that maturity
That's
walk.
God.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Right.
That's God working through her.
Right.
Yes,
and if you're not careful, you might call it the devil.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
But it's really God.
Yeah.
Just pushing you, making you better, strengthening you up, building and increasing that capacity. Because that just means something about to come your way that you're going to have the capacity to hold.
You had to handle it.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
You got to handle it.
Well, man, we're gonna land the plane with a word as we usually do. I'm gonna pitch it around, man, and catch it. Lessons. Lessons. What comes to mind, fellas, when you hear lessons? Talk to us, E.
Learning.
Yeah.
Lessons, I mean, I guess they go together. You got to learn from a lesson.
Yes, indeed.
You know?
I got you. Talk to us, Mike.
Falling and getting back up. Like you just said, learning, getting better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Learning, getting better, falling and getting back up.
Yes, sir. Picking that up, man. Talk to us, good doctor.
Lessons are a requisite for life. Lessons are used for us to kick the can down the road, to mature, to grow, to get better. Yet one of the most important things about a lesson is it gets stamped on your heart, it gets stamped on your spirit. Because the lesson is what you carry and what you teach, right?
Yes,
you can have experiences, you can have situations that happen, but the things that you teach to other people, the things you teach to your children, those are the lessons that you learn. Like you remember you were saying to your daughter, we say, yes, sir. You know, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. This is how we talk to people. Those are the lessons that you learn. Those are not the things that you learn.
Yes, sir.
Lessons carry your legacy.
Gotcha.
Lessons are the things that you use to teach, you use to preach, you use that you walk with. Come on, Jameson. Sit your butt down, boy. You all over the place, man.
James trying to get in the circle, man.
But anyway, lessons are the things that make you who you are. And lessons are the things that you use to teach who you are, what you use to show the world who you are.
Absolutely.
So it's like the lessons that you learn from your parents, from your grandparents, from life experiences, those are the things that you give out into the world to the people coming behind you.
Yes, sir.
Right? So lessons are a prerequisite or a requisite of life, of learning, of growing, of getting better. But most importantly, the lessons that you learn bring you your peace.
Yes, sir. When I hear lesson, man, the thing that I think about, the ability to learn is a gift even when pain is your teacher. Don't miss the lesson, right? Get the lesson when you fail. Get the lesson when you come up short. Get the lesson when it don't go your way. Get the lesson when you don't get what you want. Get the lesson when they don't say to you what you expected to hear. Get the lesson then. Because oftentimes we get the lesson when it plays in our favor. We get the lesson when it goes our way. We get the lesson when we get the victory. Get the lesson when you came up short. Yeah. Do you watch the film when you failed? Do you watch the film when you got beat? Do you watch the film when you got, I'm talking about destroyed? Get the lesson then, right? Like, man, I read something that was so deep, man. I was like, bro, they said, man, if you really want to grow and if you really want to get the lesson, like, allow your children and allow the people that you love to speak to you and be honest with you about the ways that you've hurt them. And don't say nothing back. Get the lesson. Get the lesson.
Jesus.
That's our time, man. Peace.
That's
Peace.
tough. That's tough.
Serendipity, man, tune in.